Hi traders, this is BOS TRADER, and I'm very excited to present you the new version of our BOS TRADER indicator, currently the version 3. And let me show you how I use it to enhance my own trading and what filters are there. First, let me show you how the BOS TRADER indicator worked in version 1, and you see that there is a table, and this table shows you, or this was just a checklist to go through before you enter any position. The version 3 currently have this info sort of automated, so it shows you the green, the yellow, or red, which is not there, to tell you if the filter is okay or not. So this is again the closer to automation and answering question if ICT and smart money concept can be automated. So this is the first step toward that goal. And let's go to a situation, for example this one, because we already see that this was a very nice trade. And let me go to replay mode and see what the situation looked like when we were there. And you can see the green marks and the yellow for dangerous liquidity, and we'll go through these filters right now. So what we have, my setting is a bit different than the default setting. The default setting is 5 for PVH and PVL. I have setting of 20. So basically I'm looking for a bar like this bar, and I'm looking for 20 bars on right and 20 bars on left, and they need to have lower high. This is high, this is high, this is high. There needs to be 20 bars before I can confirm that this or this is truly a new liquidity level. So that's just my settings, my preference. And let's continue to the filter section, and we can see filter section here. And also there is visual settings, and I have switched this to label. The default is, I think, I don't know, cross maybe. So I'm using labels because it looks very nice. Okay, so we have this dangerous liquidity filter, and we see that the dangerous liquidity filter is currently showing us number 1. So let me check, and we are currently in default section or default setting, and let me switch this to far. And right now we can see that there are 3 liquidity lines, 3 dangerous liquidity lines that are below our current market conditions. And as you can see, we are looking really far, which is not necessary. It's like 20 pips. So this is not something that I will advise you to do, because this will filter out most of the situations, because there will always be some more liquidity below. So I'm using a default in this section. So it's like this, and it will show you just this one liquidity line which is there. Of course, there is double bottom here, so this is a possible situation of dangerous liquidity, but I don't mind in this case, and I will explain you why. Because we see this beautiful consolidation here, which means a lot of volume was accumulated there, and this situation starts from POC of this area of accumulation. If you extend this, you could see that this is truly there. And if I draw profile of this, you could also see that there is a high volume node or some sort of POC, because the POC is here, but this is also some area with very high volume. As you can see, the reaction was really to the tick right there. So this is something that is totally okay for me. So I'm no longer afraid of the dangerous liquidity. But let's see the market dynamics filter. So I will go to market dynamics, which is there, and currently it's set to medium for GBP USD, which is my preference. But if I set it to default, we'll see what happens. And you see that the market dynamics is now red, which means that there is not strong enough price action. The volatility is not enough for us to enter the situation. But as you can see, there is exactly what we want to see. There is double bottom, very strong buyers, very fast pullback of sellers, and strong reaction, strong signal here. So this is something that I truly like, and this is also very common structure I trade. When you see the consolidation here, you see very strong movement which breaks this consolidation, then makes pullback to the POC of this sort of, I don't know, volume zone or something, you see the beautiful reaction there. So this is something I really like the situation. And we see that we have also other filters there, and it will be the AOI duration, which is currently okay, because there are 9 bars currently in the AOI. So let me change this to 9. Again, we'll wait for a while, and after this calculation finishes, which will be right now, you see that it's still green. But if I switch this to 8, which will be the limit of the duration of AOI that I want to enter, again, wait for a while, and you can see that this filter changes color to red, which is not okay. So this is not something you need to enter if your setting of filters is like that. Again, my usual preference is 15, and I use mainly defaults, but for GBP USD, it's better to take also just a medium or weak dynamics. Why? Because the dynamics is calculated from a very long time period, and the British pound is very volatile in times. So when you see lower volatility, for example, here, it doesn't mean that the immediate volatility is low. It just means that the volatility is low in relation or relative to very long-term volatility. So this is something that you need to think about and also test for yourself what the dynamics will be, what your preference would be. And is there also some other filter that I wanted to show you? Well, there is also the daily range. The daily range is something that I use just for information. But also, let me explain this last impulse. This last impulse means that it shows you the last time when there was very strong, very fast, very impulsive market movement based from higher time frames. So this shows you the last impulse from, for example, I don't know, 30 minutes or 1 hour. It's calculated from this volatility, and the last strongest movement on charts were long. So you could expect that all the long possibilities or long signals to trade will have much higher risk reward ratio. And this is also true in this situation, because you see this volatility that will empower this signal to take. So I will go back to settings. I will turn this market dynamics filter to medium, and I will show you the daily range. There is also daily range. The average daily range of GBP USD is 126, which means that in a long term, the GBP USD usually makes movement around 126 pips. So if I draw this on chart and zoom out a bit, okay, so this is a thing that sometimes happen, and it happens mainly in replay mode. So I will get off the replay mode, and also sometimes it's just enough to fix it by switching to 5 minute and then go back to 1 minute time frame. So this is just a tip, and this is something that Tradingview does. It's not the problem of the indicator, but it's a bit buggy, Tradingview sometimes in some ways, and especially in robust scripts like this one. So I have the daily range turned on, and you can see that the daily range bound is here. So we'll be looking for markets to finish there, and every bit of step above this average daily range is telling you that there are very strong buyers, and you could expect that the market will be very strong, very bullish, and the buyers are very strong to push price above the daily range. And also there is one very interesting thing, which is the Fibo. So if I turn on the daily range Fibo, you could also change the visual preferences of the daily ranges. I have settings to red and green, but you could change the colors as you like. And you see that this is a Fibo level, and usually you could see that there are some market reaction happening there. Right now it looks a bit crowded, so I will just hide the liquidity lights by lowering their opacity, and now you will see just the daily ranges. And also I will turn off Fibos, because again it's too crowded. The chart is too crowded. But I think that you immediately see that when we hit the daily range, there is usually some beautiful reaction there, and if we still go above, it means that we are in a very strong uptrend. So if I continue here, you could see that the uptrend continued because the buyers were very strong. And as you can see, when we are getting closer to daily range low, you see the market reacting. It's not an exact science, it's just the average. So it's just, you could imagine some sort of area around this line. This is not nuclear science. This is just chart study. And here you could see that sometimes it works really, really nicely. 1, 2, perhaps 3 reactions for the area of average daily range high. And you see, market finished exactly there, but it's in Asia, so no people trading there. And you could go back and test it for yourself, but this really works. And if you see something like this, there is a daily range low, the market makes some small reaction and then went through and then retested, and this tells you that there are very strong sellers. So on the next days you could expect that there is very strong domination of sellers, so we could expect these downtrends happening here and here. And after we break the range high, which is here, you could expect that the strong buyers will happen. And if we continue, actually this wasn't true here, this was just some sort of consolidation, but it finally happened like there we have closure above the daily range. So for the next day there was a strong uptrend. So again, this is not something that works every time, this is just a beautiful enhancement. And right there we can see also another new signal that unfortunately I wasn't trading right now, but this is a perfect situation right there. So I will also go here and let me see what the current market conditions are. And we see that the short was truly possible because their market dynamics is there. The AOI duration is totally okay. Even though we see that the last impulse was long, so we can't expect that the market will give us very big risk reward ratio. So perhaps it will be a smart idea to tighten the stop loss to break even very soon. But as you can see, there is a lot of liquidity here accumulated. Maybe if I show you liquidity lines, I will make them visible again. You see that there are multiple liquidity lines here, and also there is just one dangerous liquidity there. So this is something that I will truly trade because there is very strong sellers movement, very fast pullback. So this is very beautiful situation to trade. So I will enter short position, place stop loss above this signal, and I will go out from replay mode. And of course our target will be somewhere around here, because if we make a profile of this area, you see that the volume starts here, there is minor distribution there, or start of the distribution, and then there is the main distribution there. So if I extend this, you see that this is a reaction for this start of the distribution, and then there will be a reaction for this EOC there. And already we got our, I don't know, 2 to 1 risk reward ratio right there. So that's it for this video. That's it for the settings of the new BOS Trader indicator. And I hope I see you next time. Bye.